Hello! Thought I'd do the video from here while I remember. Relatively positive day today. What we have done, myself and Nina, is registered our company. We are now directors of a company. Well, of another company, because of course the Forge is a community interest company. But yeah, we have incorporated. So we are now Hearth and Soul Banff Limited. Hearth and Soul, it was just something that kind of came out of a lot of discussions, a lot of looking at, words associated with all of the things we're doing. Hearth, obviously, fire, and soul being, art. So that's done. That's in, which is really, really cool. And I'm folding my freelance into that as well. Just everything I do now is going to come under that auspice. And it means that I go from having one set of accounts to do to still having one set of accounts to do. So hopefully that'll be better. I have got to figure out extracting money via dividends and things like that, but it's definitely a thing for the future. Nothing to extract in the short term. Just waiting on a business bank account from Monzo, who recommended to me, and then we've got there's various business startup grant type things that I'm going to be looking at. Yeah, it's cool. It feels like a real tangible step forward, despite having been a bit less on it the past couple of weeks. But look at me, I'm up and about. Other thing I've done today is I got my tax return in, my actual self-assessment thing, which I know it's a thing that people always leave to the last minute and stress about, but I can't do it that way. And also I want time to make sure that all the tax is going to be right, because I do need to follow up on a couple of calculations that they've done. You go and do that once you've submitted, and then they can amend if needed for you. So yeah, paperwork heavy day, but a good day. It's been all right. Yeah. Forge board meeting tonight. Should have all of us there, which would be good. We have in our charter that we do proper board meetings 4 times a year, and then just monthly kind of catch-ups around that. But it's really weird. If any of you have ever kind of had to attend formal board meetings, like you have to do all things like proposing and seconding the minutes from the previous meeting and all these things. It sounds completely wanky, and it is completely wanky in many ways, but I mean, you can see why these rules are in place. Like, if you have 2 people who have put their names down and said, yes, that is correct, that's what we talked about, then, if there was any comeback on that later, you have 2 people's names who said, yeah, but you said. And not that it's going to be any issue to us in the Forge, because we're all chill and we're all friends, but you can see why it happens. So yeah, I mean, last winter through the winter we kept doing spoken word nights at the Vinery, which is kind of a local council funded kind of event space. And we did do a Christmas kind of EcoForge market as well. We call it EcoForge. It's our kind of, it's a craft market, but a curated craft market. So we only allow local people with handmade stuff, ideally using sustainable materials. Like we don't have kind of plastic toys and household goods and all that sort of stuff that you quite often find at these things. It's very much local artists, but again, I think we're just gonna slow it all down and just kind of rest up and be ready for a good kick-off in the new year. I think we all need it. I certainly need it. Nina's been really, really struggling last couple of days. She had a very, very shitty childhood as well. Very, not dissimilar to me in terms of the makeup of it. A unpleasant narcissist mother, who doesn't understand that love and control should be two separate things. Conditional love is not a thing that parents should be doing, yet they both did. And then a father, again, we both have just completely pointless and ineffectual. The one person who was there and whose job it was to protect her from the hostility of well, to protect Nina from the hostility of her mother and to protect me from the hostility of mine. We both had dads that just didn't bother, didn't care, didn't want to get involved, couldn't deal with emotional situations, so just didn't. Yeah. So it's, I think for me, I've processed a lot of that side of things. I've still got my scars, but I don't think they're all about that. But for Nina, she's certainly, it just hits her all of a sudden, like out of nowhere. Well, maybe not out of nowhere. She'd maybe say different because she's in her own head. But for the rest of us, it can just be like she'll wake up and she'll just kind of all on top of her, like, why did this happen? What did I do? What the hell? And I get it because I've been there too. But when it hits like a ton of bricks like that, there's only so much I can do. Make her lots of cups of tea and give her sweets and cuddles. It's really all I've got. Although it does seem to be what she needs. So going to be looking after her, and hopefully get through this. It's God. Tell you what, at any given point in time, there's always one of us that's struggling mental health wise. Although I think that's probably the nature of it, in that we both really want to look after each other and the kids. Like, we're both really motivated to do that. And so I think when one of us is struggling, the other one just kind of holds it in, just says, all right, I'm gonna use any toxic terms like man up or toughen up, but just hold it in, keep it inside until the other person's better. But then when the other person's better, it all then comes out. So yeah, it's a bit like tennis. Mental health tennis. It's a weird concept. But the good news is our anniversary tomorrow. There's nothing we need to do. It's, it's a valid reason to have a day off, to have a lazy day. And I think hopefully that's what we're going to do. So, yeah. And that's about all I've got for you today. So I shall see you tomorrow.